The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon.
Unmuted.
My name I am the interim project coordinator for the Wisconsin Tobacco Prevention and Poverty Network. I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and I want to welcome you to the webinar. We are very excited about this webinar, and we're looking forward to all the great information that we'll receive on today. Before we get started,
Muted.
I want to go over a few housekeeping things with you all. If you look at your screen, you should see like a toolbar to the right or left of your screen. If you want to remove that, there's an orange arrow to the top of that toolbar. You can click on that arrow and it should go to the side. If you want to bring it back, you can just click the arrow again. Also, you can, if you have a question or a comment during the webinar, you can either raise your hand. There should be a hand symbol within your toolbar, and then you can also send chat messages. You can chat to one person or to the entire webinar group. And I think that's about all for the housekeeping. You can mute your phones if you would like to, but we also will keep them muted and we will unmute them at appropriate times.
So when you start music, you want to turn.
So we are going to go ahead and I want to get started by doing some introductions. I would like everyone to go around and just introduce yourself. You can let us know what your name is, where you reside, what organization you're with, and then I want to hear from you what's one thing that you
Unmuted.
learned during this webinar. So again, my name is Marisha Harris, and I'm the interim project coordinator for the Wisconsin Tobacco Prevention and Poverty Network. I live here in Wisconsin, and I'm hoping to gain from this some best practices and strategies for reaching out to individuals who live in low-income communities.
Muted.
And so you should all be unmuted.
Hello, my name is Lorraine Lathan, and I'm representing the Wisconsin African American Tobacco Prevention Network.
My name is Captain Brian Goodwill of the Salvation Army in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Thank you, Captain Brian.
You shouldn't have to echo now because you're on mute here. If you're talking
Anyone else? Let's see, we have 20 people online. Okay, well, we can just go ahead. I hope you all had a chance to look over the agenda, but here's a brief overview. We've gone around the state, so what the Tobacco Prevention and Poverty Network has been doing. And then we have the special presentation by Christy Merriman. And then we'll go over a call to action and we will adjourn. So for the Tobacco Prevention and Control update, we will actually have Lorraine Lathan provide us with the update. And Lorraine is the Program Director for the Wisconsin African American Tobacco Prevention Network. Lorraine?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of Marva Brooks, I will be very brief in my remarks. Ms. Brooks would like to share with everyone that Wisconsin is currently preparing to celebrate the first year anniversary of our state being smoke-free. So we have a number of events that are scheduled throughout the state. As many of you know, we went smoke-free July 5th of last year. There are a number of activities that are going on. So that was her first announcement, was just to be aware and mindful of those activities. And then secondly, she wanted to encourage everyone to use also the national networks that do exist. For instance, the Wisconsin African American Tobacco Prevention Network, we're very much engaged in the work of we actually seek support and technical support assistance from the National African American Tobacco Prevention Network. And there are similar networks dealing with poverty. In fact, Christy is representing an organization that really helped to ignite the work that is occurring through our poverty network and is very much modeled after her own agency. And then Marva also mentioned that there is the Hispanic Latino network as well as the Native American and the Asian. These are all national networks, and we can look to them. They're funded through the CDC, and we can look to them for support and guidance as well. So those were essentially the announcements that she had asked me to convey to the group, and she certainly apologizes for not being able to join us today. With that said, I will pass it back to Marisha.
Thank you, Lorraine. So I'll be providing an update for the Poverty Network. We had the privilege to participate in Wisconsin's Prevention Conference, which took place actually this month, June 13th through the 16th. And during the conference, we co-hosted a cultural competency workshop with all the networks throughout the state, which represent ethnic populations in Wisconsin. So the African American Tobacco Prevention Network, the Hispanic and Latino Network, the Native American Network, and then the Asian Network. So we all came together, which is represented by WEALTH, which stands for the Wisconsin Health Equity Alliance Eliminating Tobacco Harm. And we put on a workshop to help participants become more culturally competent. And the workshop was well received. We also participated in a number of awesome workshops, and so we are grateful for the Wisconsin Clearinghouse for putting on an exceptional prevention conference for us. And as Lorraine was saying, we are thrilled about July 5th marking the first year anniversary for our smoke-free air law in Wisconsin, and we're excited about what that means for people who live in low-income communities. So that is about it for the Tobacco Prevention and Poverty Network update. Now I would like to introduce you to our special speaker. Christy Merriman is gracing us with her presence today, and we are thrilled. She is part of Break Free Alliance. She's a program coordinator of the Health Education Council, which is housed in Sacramento, California. I hope you all had a chance to look over her bio. She has more than 6 years of public health experience related to improving health outcomes among low socioeconomic status populations. And so she is bringing to us today her wealth of knowledge in her special presentation. So with that being said, I am going to hand it over to Christy.
Thanks. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you guys hear me? I'm off mute.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for allowing me to be on the webinar today. I really appreciate the invitation on behalf of Break Free Alliance, and also thank you to all those attending today. Again, my name is Christy, and I am the program coordinator for Break Free Alliance. And I believe this presentation is approximately 30 minutes, so I'll go through what we're going to be talking about today and go ahead and advance to the next slide. So today I'm going to talk about what Break Free Alliance does, and then we'll be discussing some factors about low socioeconomic status and tobacco use. We'll go into a little in-depth about what that actually means. And we'll be talking about social determinants of health and tobacco use. And then lastly, we'll be talking about strategies to address tobacco use in low-income communities. And we do that through policy, capacity building, and cessation. And so if anyone has any questions throughout my presentation, I'm more than happy to answer them as we go along. Or if we have time after my presentation, I'd be happy to answer them as well. So Break Free Alliance, our mission is to reduce the burden of tobacco use in low SES populations. We serve as a convener of national organizations and partner states, and we're a hub of information and resources. So we do a lot of technical assistance. And our main role is to link folks to experts that we know are doing the work that you all are doing, and help connect folks to one another. And we also do resource development ourselves, so we convene conferences and expert panels and do webinars and presentations, those types of things. We are funded by CDC through the Office of Smoking and Health, and as was mentioned earlier, we actually are part of a consortium, so there are 6 national networks in total, and we're one of them. And we actually used to be named the National Tobacco Prevention Network Poverty Network, so we had a really long name, and we changed our name a couple years ago to Break Free Alliance to shorten it up. But there are 5 other national networks, and they were mentioned earlier, but those are the National African American Tobacco Education Network. There's also APPEAL, which is the Asian Pacific Islander Network. There's the LGBT Health Equity Network, a Latino Tobacco Control Network, and a network that serves American Indian populations. So there are 6 in total, and we are one of them. And actually, we were funded in 2001, so we are actually having a celebration as well. We are celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. And also, as mentioned earlier, all 5 networks we have, actually, if I go back, we have a joint website, so all 6 networks are represented on that link that you see on the screen. So if you had any questions